There we go, beautiful. Hello there, so Stevenson here. I want to go over a few things in this video. So those three things, the shoulder, why my videos and why I haven't been posting recently on a consistent basis, and number three, the future of what I'm going to be doing. So essentially, given my past videos on Instagram, on here as well, so the talks with my colleagues, both at York St John, and just trying to have conversations with other people that were on my course. A lot of it didn't quite work out the way I expected it to be. Essentially, the videos of me training were also posted on there, and because I can't train anymore given my shoulder injury, it's been a bit of everything's been up in the air essentially. So I'm now finished my undergraduate. I've moved from York to Leeds now, so I'm now here doing my masters in physiology, sport exercise physiology. So I now have access, because I'm living with Flair VFX. I'll put his link in the description for his YouTube and for his Instagram. Also, because of the recent situation that I found myself in living with him, I also have access to a lot of equipment that I didn't have before. So I now have a camera tripod, I've got lighting and other such things, so I can actually make good standard videos with a lot of clarity, so it's nice. But also, I've now finished that course, so I'm done with that. A bit of advice for those that want to do strength and conditioning as a degree. For those that want to pursue coaching on a professional level, ideally I wouldn't go to university to study a degree in that subject. So if you want to be a sport exercise scientist, yeah, go for it. So you do have that degree, but if you want to just stick to coaching and not have to worry about the research behind the coaching or the underpinning science behind the coaching, I would suggest just go for a normal accredited. Oh god. So I would go for an accreditation in strength and conditioning. So you can do that through UKSCA, which is the national governing body in the UK for it, and you can also do either an NSCA accreditation for those that are in America and other areas, and you can also do a certification as a specialised strength and conditioning coach, which is also on the American side, I believe, as well. I had tutors at university that were accredited strength and conditioning coaches, so it made it a lot better to be able to get an understanding of what it entailed. However, I wouldn't go to university for that kind of degree. It's helped me in the long run because I've learned how to coach properly, the underpinning science behind the coaching, what I need to look for, the evidence base behind it. But because I'm now doing a master's in the physiology behind the performance or the clinical aspect or the exercise aspect overall, I'm able to get more of an understanding in terms of performance parameters, in terms of the physiology of the human body in general sort of contexts. So it's a good sort of step forward. What else? So yeah, I injured my shoulder and I have no clue what I've done to it, and I can't train, which I find myself very frustrated with, so I haven't had the chance to be able to be consistent with the footage or the content that I'm meant to be uploading either to Instagram and other social media platforms, or in general YouTube. So I thought I would sort of come with another sort of video just to sort of explain what's going on. So I'm waiting on a ultrasound results for my shoulder to see what I've actually done to it, and until then I'm not going to train. I do just general sort of legs and other cardiovascular activity to sort of negate anything of the body, so I don't touch the body at all. But yeah, I'm now in Leeds, so it's different. It's a different sort of vibe. I'm getting ready to start my course next week, so I'm looking forward to getting on board. Another thing as well is that I'm doing my internships on the side, so I now have some shadowing experience with the local hospital here as a cardiac physiologist. So I'm just observing in assessments and in catheter labs as well. So I do a lot of observing and just sort of general question asking and stuff, and why certain things are the way they are, and getting a deeper understanding into what I'm getting into as a physiologist. Another thing as well I'm doing is my performance coaching, so I'm continuing my internship with Wakefield Trinity as a performance coach. So I'm looking at more of the academy aspect of it, and I'm looking at I'm thinking of doing more with the reserves and with the first team as well, so I get more shadowing experience with the strength and conditioning coaches and the performance coaches that deal with them. So that is the general sort of goal over the next few months to a year. So I start my course very soon, so I'm looking forward to that. The future of these videos are, as I say, going to be looking at training methods, the evidence behind the training and why it's used, giving advice on guidelines for training as well, and the programming for your career, if you see what I mean. You should technically you should plan your career ahead. You shouldn't just go with whatever direction. I say program, like organise what you should do to be able to get to that point. I can't fully remember the correct phrase. So I'll be doing, alongside my masters, my strength and conditioning accreditation, just to be able to sort of have that aspect over and done with. And I will hopefully be doing some personal training and fitness instruction on the side of my degree, so that either in a part-time or full-time basis, depending on how I like to fit my studies around. So it will be my studies coming first rather than the actual full-time or part-time work. So I'll make sure that the degree comes first, and I make sure I get the best out of it. And other than that, it'll be just the internships as well that run alongside. So the more experience, the more rich my CV and my anecdotes as well coming from it all. So yeah, for the next few months and maybe a year or two, I'll be filming, doing my normal videos and doing my normal training sessions, and I'll hopefully be programming for people as well. And if you guys, if any of you find inspiration from any of my videos, or you want some kind of advice in terms of your own programming, then by all means drop me a direct message, drop me an email, and I can try and sort something out for you, and hopefully I can tape a program for you or something, whatever works for you in that sort of sense. But yeah, what else? Yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day.